What does it mean to win a championship, being this close?
It's nothing like it. To win a championship is a special honor. A lot of teams, pursue that. Very few teams ever have an opportunity to actually win one. So it's one of the most memorable moments you're going to have. You want to leave your legacy wherever you are. The best way to do that is to win a championship.
What have you seen from this team in this run since the conference tournament to now? It's certainly a different team. What have you seen out of it?
Well, seeing a team that's playing with a great deal of energy. They're competing at a high level. I really like how they're connecting with one another on the floor, offensively and defensively. And those are things you have to do to be successful and be consistently successful. And so I'm really happy with what I've seen so far during this tournament run.
In the 3 games that you've won in this tournament, you've kind of covered the range, right? You've had one that was a nail biter down to the last second. You had one where you closed them out strong at the end, and then you had this one that went into overtime. What could those kind of experiences do for you leading into that last game?
Well, I think it's a great experience for our guys. Having played in 3 different type of games, 3 different type of opponents, is good for us because no matter who you face, there's going to be some similarities. So I think our guys did a really good job of making adjustments necessary. And the main thing, no matter what, at the end of tomorrow's game, it'll be the end of our season. And so you want to make sure you leave, in the best possible way you can. And the way you do that is by winning. And so what we want to do is give a winning effort tomorrow. We want to stay composed. I think that's been a theme for us throughout these games thus far. We've been played with a lot of composure, and our guys have played with a lot of, compassion, with a lot of passion.
What message do you have for Knight fans back in Orlando?
For Knight fans back in Orlando, I wish you were here. I mean, what a great opportunity. It's been a great environment. It's been an unbelievable tournament. And I'm so proud of our guys, just as I know you all are proud of them as well. And so the main thing is that we continue to go out there every night and represent Knight Nation to the highest level that we possibly can.
What does your appearance in the tournament and the making it to the final game, what does it mean for the program?
Well, it means a lot for our program. We're still a program that's in the process of becoming. And, we're a young program when you think about universities and institutions. And so for us, there's a lot of room for us to grow. And I've always had that vision for our program where we could be. And you just got to take the steps toward that. And I think this tournament is another step toward what we want to become. I think our guys are playing, at a high level. They're understanding what it takes to win in tournament atmospheres. And, of course, we want to play in the highest tournaments that we possibly can be invited to.
All right, let me ask you a question that some people have been debating back home. If you win this thing tomorrow, do we put a banner up in the arena?
If we win it, we should definitely put a banner up in the arena. This tournament is going to be an amazing event. I mean, I've been playing in a lot of different tournaments as a player and as a coach, and I'm here to tell you, this tournament's here to stay. It's going to be a represented and a well-respected tournament based on what I've seen, thus far.
Yeah, all the games have been competitive. They've been close. They haven't any really bad games at all in this tournament.
Well, you look at the field. Look at the field that they put out there for these 16 teams. I mean, you've had some teams that have, unbelievable traditions. Some teams have had really, really good seasons. And so whenever you have a field like that, it's representative of what they're going to see in the future as they grow this tournament. It's going to be one of the best tournaments in college basketball.
Final game. It's win, lose, or draw. It's going to be Darius's final time on the court in a Knight uniform. Can you reflect for a few minutes on what he's meant to this program?
Darius has meant a great deal to our program. His 4 years, he's been a rock for us. He's been our leader. He's been steady, and he's gotten better every single year. You look at the improvement he's made from year 1 to year 4. And that's what you want to see in a young person, the growth. And he's done that in our program. And so me seeing him in his final game, it'll be difficult. It'll be difficult for everyone because I think it'll be rare now that you may have a young man that comes in as a freshman and he graduates as a senior, just the nature of our sport now. But I'm very fortunate to have him, be on our team, and I'm very fortunate to have been able to coach him for the last 4 years.
So I want to go back to something we talked about earlier about fouls. The big fouls. In fact, you joked after the game that you were worried about double overtime. You might not have anybody left to play. Is that something you're going to address between now and then, or was that just the nature of this game?
think every game is unique. It was the nature of this game. We're not a heavy-duty fouling team, and neither are they. It just so happened that's the way it was today, and I think both teams had to make the adjustment. But the good thing is most guys didn't foul out. So even though we got in a lot of foul trouble, not many guys fouled out on either team. So that was the benefit.
Can you reflect? I don't know if you had a chance to really study the stats or if it matters at this point, but rebounding, the rebounding. I think what was it? Darius had, let's see, no, who was it? Okay. Hendricks had 8, Ivy Curry had 7, and Chum had 5. What was going on with rebounding for this game?
Well, our guys did a really good job of rebounding against a very big team. I was really proud of our guys' effort, on the boards. We talked about that being an emphasis for us. And you need your guards to really chip in. We knew Mustafa was going to rebound the basketball. That's what he's going to do at 7'2". But we needed guys like, Jordan Ivy Curry to rebound the ball, guys like Tyler Hendricks to rebound the basketball. We need that support from those players, and I thought they provided that for us.
I think last question. What's it going to take to beat Nebraska?
I'm in the process of watching Nebraska right now. Well-coached team. Fred Hoiberg does a great job. They have talented players. They have experienced players. It's going to take a winning effort for us to be successful against them tomorrow.
So, talk to me about the game. You rose to the occasion, that three-pointer that tied it up and sent it to overtime. Talk us through that.
It's crazy because literally when Coach subbed me out and was subbing me back in, I think it was about 12 to 13 seconds left. The guard, number 2, was shooting 2 free throws. He was just telling me, go for the quick 2, but if you get a good look at the 3, go ahead and take it. And, we were fortunate enough the kid missed 1 free throw. I got a great look coming off the pick and roll, shot a step back 3, and, the rest is history.
You've been a part of this team for 4 years, which is a rarity in college basketball these days. So you've seen a lot of teams in this time that you've been here. And I want to talk about the difference between the team during the regular season and the team that's at this tournament. What do you see out of the team that's at this tournament?
I think I see a group of guys who are excited to play the basketball, especially postseason. It's a lot of other things that, guys could have been doing. We had guys at the portal, so, technically you could be going to work out in your off season, getting ready to go to your next stop. But, we had a group call, and we found the right guys, who wanted to be here and wanted to participate, and wanted to play to win. I can't really speak for the guys that aren't here, but I feel like the guys that are here, we're enjoying being around each other. We're having fun, we're playing together, and we're having fun on the court. You can just tell.
Have you seen a chemistry develop with this group over the last couple of weeks?
I think the chemistry has definitely developed. The guys that are, starting to log a lot of more minutes, like Dior, Tyler, and Nils, they're stepping into a nice role. Juice has been pretty consistent with his role all year long. But, Tyler and Nils, you didn't really know what you were going to get from them. They haven't played a lot of minutes all year long. But, me being in their corner, me being the guy, I've watched them put the work in, watched them in practice. I knew they were going to rise to the occasion. Tyler's been playing lights out, and Nils as well. They've both been making plays all over the court. And Dior as well. We needed guys to step up, which we have. We have guys down. We have Keyshawn is not here. Mikey, JJ. They've been down Jalen all year. So, it's always been about the next man up. You're not going to go through a season where everyone's just 100% healthy. You're going to have some hiccups. Guys are going to go out with injuries. So you always have to be the next person has to be ready at any given moment.
A lot of people in UCF world have a phrase, once a night, always a night. And you kind of embody that for them. What does UCF mean to you?
UCF means everything. I was a one-stop shop. I came to university, I put my all into it, and I'm happy to say that I'm leaving with no regrets. Is there some things that, you wish you do differently with some growing pains and stuff like that? Of course, there's things that you could go back in life and do differently. But, I'm proud of the growing and the learning curve I had to go through because, it's made me the person I am today. Without that, I don't know where I'd be. The staff, just the environment, the people, and the relationships I've created, being at UCF for so long. It's great. I feel like, I try to be as humble as possible. I feel like I'm kind of like a legend, leaving the school. I hope hopefully have my jersey retired one day. You know, I feel like I've done my part with the accolades, you know, putting my name in the record books. But, you know, it's one of those moments where you want to come back and, you know, show your family, show your kids, and like, I used to play here, or like, this is what I did here. Look, my number's up there in the rafters, stuff like that you want to look back on and be able to do.
What would you say to somebody thinking about coming to UCF and somebody thinking about playing for Coach Dawkins?
Honestly, you know, if you come in to look at a bunch of nice facilities, or you think you're about to get a whole bunch of money NIL-wise, you're not. But if you want to come play for a man who genuinely cares about you, you know, your well-being, what you do as when you leave UCF, and it's going to help you develop as a young man, I think UCF is a great fit. You know, I've watched Coach Dawkins, you know, relentlessly continue to forgive kids, continue to provide grace. You know, it's a lot of coaches out here that just won't tolerate a lot of stuff that, you know, some guys bring with them. You know, I've watched Coach over the years and years and years. He's had so much patience. He cares more about, you know, what this kid's life is going to be like, how he's going to be as a husband, as a father, as a brother or uncle, rather than as a basketball player. You know, of course, as his job, he's going to do his best to develop you and coach you as hard as he can. But, you know, he's not going to throw a kid's career away just because the kid made a mistake or made a bad decision.
What would you say to UCF fans about the future of this program?
I think the future of the program is based on them. I feel like you're going to get in what you put out. You know, obviously we have to do our part. You know, the guys that are going to be participating and playing. You know, you got to go out at a high level and compete. You know, you can't just come out and just lay eggs. No one's going to want to come and watch that. But I think if we go out and compete at the very highest level, I feel like this school could change around and be a basketball school rather than a football school.
You had a couple of stretches during the season that were a little rough.
Mm-hmm.
And from that experience, what do you bring out of that experience to what you're doing now?
You got to just grow from it. You can't really dwell on the past. You know, the past is gone. There's nothing you can do. There's no time machine where you can go back and try to fix things. You know, that's what you just learn about life. You be able to learn and grow. You know, I always say a loss is never a loss. It's more of a lesson. You know, take what you did wrong from this game, what you could have done better, and try to apply it. At the end of the day, you're not going to be perfect, but you're growing. Everyone wants to grow and get 1% better each day.
So let's start with talking about the game today. You were the second leading rebounder on the team. You had 30 minutes of time from the clock. Talk to me about your game today.
Just focusing on the win. I would just try to want to do and try to do whatever I can do to help my team win. And that's what I did today.
What does being in a championship game mean to you?
It means a lot. This is my first time ever playing a championship game in college, and I'm grateful to be in it. Looking forward to winning with the team we have right now. We've been through some struggles, and I'm just very excited for this moment tomorrow.
Reflect on what this team is like now versus what it was like during the season for you.
I just think within all the struggles we had, I feel like we just bought in and understand the project. We've been together for so long now that we just know each other. Focused on the main goal and winning. I love how everybody's mindset is positive. Even we have some guys in the portal. They still just bought in, still focused on the win. So I just want to appreciate those guys for, still having their mind on the right goal too. So
I noticed one of the things I noticed from the game today, for sure, is that compared to earlier in the season, you seem to be more vocal on the court. Is that a product of just having more room to be vocal, or is that just you being you?
I know we had I could say I was a leader, but I was more sort of like this in the shadow, just because we had other leaders. I know that we had some leaders that's not here right now, and I just wanted to feel the need to step up and just help my team, because I know we need leadership, because our leadership has been down for these for this weekend. So I just wanted to pick that up and help DJ out with that, and win a championship game right now.
What does UCF mean to you?
When I think of UCF, just grit, getting the job done, working hard, sacrifices. Coach Dawg make a lot of sacrifices for us. When I first got here, just working hard. Like it's probably the most intense program I ever been in, just as far as skill development, strength and conditioning, getting stronger, getting faster. And I just love everything about UCF, for sure.
What do you think's been your biggest strength in this tournament?
My attitude, just playing with attitude, my energy. I know the first 2 games I probably didn't hit shots, but my energy was always uplifting, encouraging. I just knew. I believe in you get what you put out, no matter what. So just focusing on the positive things and giving back to others, even when things not going my way. And today things came back to me, and my teammates, they was still encouraging me, and that's all it's about, just encouraging each other, staying a clear head, and just focusing on the right things.
In the last 2 minutes of the game today, you were down by 6 points. What does it take to hold on to the belief that you're going to be able to come back and do it?
I feel we in preseason we had we went in overtime with LSU. We just went in overtime in the Big 12 tournament with Kansas. So we've been in those moments. So it's just, and we also work on them in practice. So I don't think we was worried. We seen it before. We know what it takes. And just executing and being disciplined in those moments is very key to how we won the game.
One last question I want to ask you. Darius has been a part of this team for 4 years. Reflect on what being his teammate has been like.
Like I say, this is my first year just being with Darius, but from what I was heard and what I seen this year, Darius has grown as a man, as a person, and as a leader. His leadership has been outstanding. He's a loyal guy. He's been for 4 years, and he's a winner. I can tell you that. Got a strong belief in God, in Jesus. So man, he also helped me a lot on and off the court, just how to move and do certain things. And I just want to give a lot of credit to him. And I know he's gonna have a great career in professional, and I'm gonna keep up with him. And I just, hope he keep up with everything he's doing right now, man, because he got a special gift, and I'm glad to have him on my side, going to war with him. I remember we had like one little meeting, little talk. I told him, man, look, man, I'm right here with you, man, and he stuck by that. And I just want to say thank you, if you're watching this, Darius, for trusting and believing in me, man.